I'm sitting here with Najee Janie. We're on the eve of the release of Blue Manifesto Deluxe, which is the introduction to Najee from what year?
2014.
2014. This was the first project you ever released out into the world?
This is, to be exact, this is my second project that I released, because I had released Taylor Towns.
Yes.
That was right before Blue Manifesto, but I took it down. So
got you. So this is the first project that you let stick.
Yes.
Like you can actually go link. Taylor Towns is an exclusive.
Exactly. This is the first project that I was like, this is what I want people to go back to if they want to get in on Najee's story.
Got you.
Yeah.
So, Blue Manifesto, it's a project that, like the word manifesto, like just looking at the definition and everything like that, like a public declaration of policy and aims, especially when issued before an election by a political party or candidate. Mm-hmm. Like, and this being your introduction, mm-hmm. I feel like a young Najee, a teenage Najee, stamping that. Like, what was going through your head during that time, and what has changed since that time?
Okay, so I remember one of the biggest songs on Blue Manifesto was Quasimodo. Yeah. And I wrote Quasimodo in Gibson, Give DJ's kitchen table, on his kitchen table. And when we talked about doing this project, I had told him the vision of what I see to come, and how the work we put into this project, this is the sprinkle of greatness that we have to tap into at all costs to get to where we want to be. And so teenage Najee, I was like 17 turning 18, writing that project, just getting out of high school, entering college. So my mindset leaving high school was, I don't even want to go to college. I know what I want to do already. And it's to continue to embark on this musical journey and expressing myself through my creativity. And so when I'm in college, that's the mindset went from, I don't want to go to college, to thank God I went to college for this year, because the whole year I was listening to Blue Manifesto, and I was receiving all the affirmations and assurances of why I made the best decision of choosing to create Blue Manifesto. So yeah, that's where my mindset was when writing Blue Manifesto. And so many powerful moments spiritual moments came from me listening to Blue Manifesto. I remember one time I was in my dorm room and I was crying, and I was sad that I was in a dorm room in college on a campus in Bridgewater State. And I was praying, talking to myself, and I had asked, yo, if this music shit is what I'm supposed to be doing, play Aloha by Joey Badass next. And I was on shuffle.
On Pandora, right?
Pandora.
Yeah.
I had
where there ain't no option. There's no Surrey.
There's 25 stations.
My boy had an Android.
Bro, the next song was Aloha by Joey Badass. But it's just like Blue Manifesto outside of music, it's my reminder that, I'm doing the right thing.
Got you. And so what brings you to drop the Deluxe now, almost 7 years later?
Right. So actually you brought to light the importance of not having that project be something pushed aside, even though it's been so many years that I've marketed it or brought it to light. Yeah. And so with that in mind, and also with there's certain records on Blue Manifesto that are timeless records. And that year I also have records that I want to, that I feel carry that same message and the same spirit of the original records that I keep on Blue Manifesto. Yeah. But I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, the question was why now, basically.
Oh, why now?
And basically to talk about, what's to come in the album and everything like that.
Right, so now is the perfect time because we're leading into the rollout of my debut album coming out, The Reason It Gets Dark. And so with Blue Manifesto coming out now, this is just going to be like it was for me 7 years ago. This is, okay, we're reminding you, this is where he's been. This is where, and then Purple Earth Theory is kind of be like, this is where he's at now. And then The Reason It Gets Dark is going to be, this is where he's going.
Yeah.
Type shit. So this is like my relative theory, Blue Manifesto kind of. It's like putting all the times together because there's spurts of what I do in Purple Earth Theory and the reason It Gets Dark in Blue Manifesto that I did 7 years ago already. So,
and that's definitely what I wanted to talk to you about. You know what I mean? Like even just the name, and then the actual project itself, man. Like it's like you're almost like a young Najee, a teenage Najee is almost like repetitively forcing his thoughts with this music. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you gotta hear what the fuck I'm thinking. You get what I'm saying? And that's something that I feel like is so powerful, even when it comes to your debut album, because you're gonna make a lot of music, bro. You are able to shift genres. You're able to shift thought and time. You don't exist in those spaces, bro. You feel me? And your music won't either. So you get what I'm saying? People gonna be listening to you 40 years like it's today. People gonna listen to you today like it's 40 years from now. You get what I'm saying? Like mothers, kids, people in college. You get what I'm saying? Like there's no limit. And I think Manifesto is powerful in that sense because it's before, you know what I mean? Like you can still hear the frustration. You know what I'm saying? And you can hear this gotta, you know what I'm saying? Or like, you know what I mean? And there's like in the lead up to the album, I feel like that's ever so important to let them know there is, and there's going to be. Yeah. And just like, so just how the album starts off, you get what I'm saying? And with Cruising, you know what I mean? And it's a teenage you, once again, talking about, it's a teenage you talking about police brutality. And with Cruising, even the actual bars. What are your thoughts on Cruising?
So Cruising, it's crazy. That's 7 years ago. Cruising. That's like kind of before all the cop killings got normalized, even though it's been going on.
It's been a common theme.
Yeah, it's been
in history, but it has ramped up on a
ramped up kind
news agenda.
Like maybe we in 2021, like it kind of ramped up like 2017, 2018, 2019. So I just remember being in Roxbury. Where were we when coming up with? Yes, it was in Roxbury in my old crib, at my uncle's spot, and you know, it was just us being in the city and experiencing and remembering history and seeing where society has taken its precautions when dealing with humans overall, and kind of bottling all up into one moment, even though I'm not going to say we were experiencing, me personally or Sean personally, experiencing cop killings or brutality from police. But we felt
it was something in the air,
racism. And it's something that my uncles, my pops have gone through, like scenarios my family has gone through. And so my mission with music is just to always correlate with the times that's going on outside. And I think with Cruising in particular, that was just one song. It was one song of many where we really connected with a universal theme that has been going on, that will always be going on, that, you know, it's not going to go away type of thing. It was we were like 17.
Yeah,
right now.
And even you mentioned 17, Sean, 18. You know, he's coming in. That was a young Sean Wire, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was Sean with no locks.
Yeah, and that set a tone for, like, you guys being frequent collaborators and, you know, the Most High Kingdom. And where y'all going, and even the record, like, it's going somewhere. And I love how it goes into Quasimodo.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And the themes of you being a prophet.
Yes.
And you touching on religion at 17 years old, but you're basically announcing. You get what I'm saying? I think Quasimodo, from cruising to where you're on the outskirt looking outwardly into what's going on, to where Quasimodo is the record where this is me internalizing something. And in that, I wanted to know your thoughts on the themes you touched on, and your thoughts on just how does it feel listening to that record now?
Bro. Quasimodo, when I came, mind you, I wrote Quasimodo on the kitchen table in Gibby's room.
Yeah, as you mentioned,
okay? So I remember that being the first song where I felt I did not write that song. Like, it was not me writing this song. Dude, like, it came too fast, too fluid. It was, I just remember I took out print paper and wrote it, like, out. And I just know with the beat and telling Gib, like, look, man, I want to be the best version of myself. Make the best beat you can make right now. And we just matched each other's like flame and intensity. And I kept in mind, I always keep, whenever I write music, I always play like my dad's voice in my head, in my head about being meaningful and saying something that people can stick with. And I kept all those intentions in mind, and boom, Quasimodo was there. Quasimodo is like a 4-verse song too. I mean, there are longer verse track songs, but that was like my first all verse, no hook.
Just straight.
This is emotion. This is raw. I'm just giving you every spectrum of you know, my mindset and how I think.
And that's interesting you brought up that point, because like with Stomp, I feel like he followed up after Quasimodo with a lyrical annihilation. You get what I'm saying? With an exact attack. Like, you get what I'm saying? Even it's an anthem. It's something like, even when you just say in the bar, ignorance isn't bliss, it's plain out stupid. You get what I'm saying? And just diving deeper into, like, you know, thinking the universe for your melanin, and just basically you're just attacking, like, this is, I'm coming through. You feel me?
And for me, it was interesting seeing the two parallels, because this version of Stomp wasn't the original version of Stomp.
Okay.
The original version of Stomp was nothing. Like, if that version was still on, you would have seen no growth. But for me personally, I feel like Quasimodo and Cruising was me striving to get to Stomp.
This new version of Stomp.
New Stomp. Like, the new Stomp serves as...
And I think it's a perfect segue. Like, it's a perfect Cruising, Quasimodo, Stomp. I think it's a great 3. And it also just shows your growth in being able to you're taking someone somewhere with this project. You know what I mean? Where the original project took me somewhere, but I think this just shows a growth in even your ability to formulate what you're trying, where you're trying to take your listener. You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean, the original track list, I can honestly say that I wanted to be picky with where I chose, where I brought people with the music. And I don't think I put as much care and love that I could into that project the way I do with the projects I have now and are working on now.
Yeah.
That Blue Manifesto recorded all in one day.
Really?
So like I said, this was 7 years. I was on a whole different type of time 7 years ago. The original track list of Blue Manifesto, I have records on there where you can tell that, okay, he's being immature here. He's being immature. He's being young-minded right here. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just I got to put this to the world real quick.
Yeah, but at that time, I'm like, I don't care. This is how I express myself, and I like it. So...
And it's crazy that you say that, because the next record that follows is, you know, I Need a Break. You get what I'm saying? And even with that, you know, the themes are continuous. You're really aiming to prove a point with this manifesto.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? And you're really, it's even to the point where in the middle of the record, you're figuring out the sound of the record in the middle of the record, which was like courageous to me. You get what I'm saying?
You heard that?
Yes.
Okay,
of course.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, of course. And even it meant like, with the way I, you know, thought about it was that, like, even the theme in it, like you figuring out, made all sense for the theme of the record itself, because you're basically saying, I need a mo. Is that right? Is what's good?
Is
You know
that
what I'm saying?
right? Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
bro.
like talk a little bit more about that, like I need a break, and then even guiding into flow. You know what I'm saying?
So I need a break. I can do both parallels of where my mindset was then and now. Then I need a break served as the interlude. It was like an interlude record where symbolically I wanted to take a break from, you know, everything that's thrown at people, everything that's thrown at me. I need a break from that. How am I gonna take a break from that? At that point, it was with weed. Like it was my first weed song, like where I kind of use metaphors to describe how I'm feeling throughout the day, how it makes me feel in correlation to it.
So it's an ode to weed for real.
Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, it's also me saying I need a break from
just for some type of reality,
from this matrix, from what's going on around me. And now, with the version of the project as it is now, I hear and feel that it will serve as an interlude from some, because you got Cruising, which is that's gonna resonate with people now.
Yeah.
You got Quasimodo, that's gonna be like, oh, fuck. And then you got Stomp, that's gonna regurgitate everyone's like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then I need a break. That's what's gonna, ease the way. Kinda.
Like here's a breather.
Yeah.
And then you follow it up with flow and talk
correct.
about that.
Now flow is, I picture flow, it's more so, this is me on the road. I'm driving now. Like,
you took your break and now you're back running.
Now we on the road now. Like,
got you.
Float, we gotta float through this shit. We gotta remember what we are at the end of the day, and it's not this.
Yeah.
Like that's float.
Yeah.
I remember the opening lines is, as the rain rolls in and your rain molds in, you think back to the picture of your frame frozen. And I remember, I actually wrote that song here because it was raining in the living room. It was raining outside. And I was just thinking, like, as this rain outside rolls in, and my rain of where I know I can bring supreme molds in, I think back to the picture of my frame frozen. When you smacked him twice just because your chain stolen, shit, you should have held your chain closer. And I just was picturing my attack on my ego, where I worry about all the wrong things. So this song, and the hook is like, tell me what I gotta do just to taste rap. Do I gotta rap a bunch of great snacks? Find out what you mean when you say it's whack. Talking towards it. So it's like me
having that combo.
Having a conversation with myself, like,
yeah.
All right, we know.
Where you taking it?
Where you taking it? Remember why you're taking it there. And remember, at the end of the day, if it matters to you, that's all that matters. You can't just do shit to do shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be selfish because as a musician, I chose the craft and the avenue of not being selfish.
Yeah.
And selfish music don't resonate with the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It resonates with a select few.
Yeah.
A select
but
group.
It gotta be something people can take on their own.
My shit, I want the whole world the whole world is gonna take on my shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's interesting. It's interesting you say that because you took float and the themes of that, you know what I'm saying, the actual what you wanted to articulate with that, and then you follow it up with Cherry Blossom Pie.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Which is the exact thing you're talking about in float.
Yes.
By showing like I'm gonna push it. You know what I mean? And you definitely pushed it with that record. Mm-hmm. That record wasn't on the original, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was a song I wrote in 2016, 2017.
Okay.
It's a record of mine that I've always kept under the raps.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that anymore. I perform the song every time I have a set.
Yeah, it's a show favorite for sure.
It's a show favorite.
Sticky, it's funky.
It's sticky, it's funky, it's milky, it's what people need to hear.
Yeah, and this record being on here is almost a break a little bit because it's singing Najee. You know what I'm saying? And on these other records, there's a little bit here and there, just a little taste of it. But this is a full blown.
Yes.
And I thought that was very interesting, following the themes of Float. And definitely like Cherry Blossom Pie, like seeing you perform it live and then actually now being able to experience it. Because, I'm a project listener, you know what I'm saying? I know we talk about that, but like I really enjoy going somewhere with an artist, you know what I'm saying? I feel like every project is just that. And then when time is no longer a thing to our physical, you know what I'm saying? I feel as though our complete bodies of work, when they're absorbed, where are they going? Where are we going? And I think on this project, like, being so young, bro, like, and being able to take it so many different places, and then you follow it up with "Let Us Pray." You know what I mean? You said this line, man, and I'll cry right now. You feel me? How can I run from what I built? This ain't Django. You know, this ain't Jenga. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? This is mine. I gotta protect it. And you still, even in this, with "Let Us Pray," the themes of that, like. Really exploring more into your singing side on that, and you're worried about Roxbury and the future of Roxbury, bro. And you gave them the funk, you gave them the happiness, and then you follow it up and like, listen to this too. You know what I mean? And let's talk a little bit about that, man.
Let Us Pray, for me, man, that's like that's the ode to the people who are always being told one thing, always being conditioned to think one thing, but then on the other hand, they know the righteous way and they know instinctively what's right. And Let Us Pray, for me, I wanted to create the soundtrack for those people who are constantly, they don't know who to listen to. They forget who to listen to instead of listening to the person right in the middle, like self and in the center. So, yeah, man, that song in particular, I wrote it for me too, like, because I needed to. A lot of my music, like, I write for whatever I need to work on spiritually, physically, emotionally, or something I was told by someone I need to work on, or some experiences that I've gone through or seen, witnessed. And Let Us Pray is just that example right there. It was, I knew for me, I'd be in my head too much. Like, why you want to talk to me? Like, I'm my own enemy all the time. Like, whether it's me being mad at situations I shouldn't be mad at, that stress me out over situations I shouldn't be mad at, or me overthinking when I'm in the studio, you know what I'm saying, and trying to force something out when if I silence my thoughts for 5 minutes, the song is written in 10. Yeah. And when I do that every time, I'm spot on every time. So yeah, Let Us Pray is that reminder.
It definitely was a statement piece on the record. And then you follow it up with Out the Box. Which is a record, it's young Najee, it's fun Najee, but it's vulgar.
Out the Box is supposed to do what we just did right now. Like
this breather. And right. I seen that's a theme here too. Like, after I Need a Break, you go Float, Cherry Blossom, Let Us Pray, then Out the Box. Like, you're obviously setting like, here's some fun, but here's some real. Yeah. Like, you're saying that balance, you're putting them on a beam. You get what I'm saying? You're really putting them on a beam. So Out the Box is definitely, you team up with an often collaborator in Milk Shaw, of course, another member of Most High. And you guys just rap, fun rap.
Yeah, I remember, like, that session was beautiful, man, because it was like, yo, what can we do that hasn't been done this way? Out the city, like, we need to step outside our comfort zone. Like, we need to get out the box with our creativity, and being the maestro virtuoso that he was able to just take our idea and turn it to life. And Out the Box was off top shit. I didn't really write it down or nothing. And Milk added his perfect spoken word piece in between the songs, and it's just being grateful for who you got, your partner, you know what I'm saying, the creator or your child next to you. Yeah, it's just being grateful.
And then, man, you follow it up with War Raw, and I feel like this is exactly what it is, a war anthem.
Right.
Timeless.
Mm-hmm.
You say a statement in there. You got to shoot back or get rolled on.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And just talk deeper about that. Like, and I think this, honestly, just in my honest opinion, like, just talk about the album, man, a little bit. But I feel like this is a prelude to that. You know what I mean? That you know what I mean? That motherfucker. So I definitely was like, damn, this motherfucker had. He, you might not have knew, but looking back, you knew. You feel me? And just talk about that.
That's exactly how I feel with War Rock, because that song was like 7 years ago. That's an old song.
Yeah.
Okay, and during that time, like none of the shit that's going on now was really happening, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're living in it. Like the hook is getting too warm outside. Sea levels is rising. The food's going bad. Your body's slowly dying. So what's war to a brother that ain't scared? I see the signs all the time. I'm prepared. So what you gonna do? I'm finna shoot back or get rolled on. So I mean, it's interesting. Then I don't have nearly as much as the knowledge I have now. So it kind of was like...
It's eerie a little bit.
It's so powerful that I'm now where I wanted to be, at least with my information intake and spiritually too. Like I'm nowhere near as spiritually inclined as I was then as I am now.
Yeah.
Nowhere near.
Like you just elevated to a much higher level, but you see the seeds.
Then I saw where I was going.
Yeah.
So...
And you were able to actually articulate it in a way that a lot of people, even deep into their journeys, are not. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the things that this project showcases is your gift to do that, and your gift of articulation and using your ability of the pen, because your pen is very powerful, bro. Your pen and your mind are crazy, and even the alignment to where when you write, bro, like some outer source like is also guiding your hand. You know what I'm saying? And so even when Najee, who doesn't have the experience or the understanding of what he's writing, something like this record in particular, I think drives it home. That gift of, because this shit is from 2014, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Do you get what I'm saying? So you get what I'm saying? Like it's something, you know what I mean? This is a teenage you, bro, saying like, yo, check the food, bro. Like, check what's going on, man. What's up with this matrix we live in? Like, so this is not a theme, and this is another reason I feel like this project got to be here, because I think people got to know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What
you've been on, like since I met you, you know what I'm saying? Since you've been a young nigga, bro, you've been this person, so you validated, you valid, you get what I'm saying? And there's proof of the validation. Like a project was out there, it's been out there for 7 years that. Validates your thought and your theories and the reasons you have. You feel me? So, definitely. So then you follow that up with, you follow the war anthem, which I feel like is a call to action.
Yes.
External piece, like let's get it, guys. We gotta be ready.
Are we gonna
play
let the shit keep happening to us? Are we
we can't play games.
We gonna be traditional, or we just gonna do what we're told to do or what we're used to, or are we gonna break free?
And I feel like then you follow that up with Sand and Stone, which is a self-conversation.
And that's me breaking free.
Okay. That's the breaking free point.
For me.
Yeah. Talk deeper about that.
So it's like, I remember when I told Gibb to if he can, with that beat, like I wanted to really express my emotions leading up to me writing that song. I hadn't created in a while, so I had a whole bunch of built up thought, and I was on my way to the ferry of Martha's Vineyard to head back to Boston. So he sent me the beat as soon as we came out of the parking lot, and on the ride to the ferry, like I was listening to it, and by the ferry, got on the ferry and landed, I finished the song. So that's another song where I wasn't writing that song either. But it was just, me being in the field, in the midst of chaos, like just looking at myself. This is really my favorite weather to write in, brainstorming at night, then waiting for lightning There's something about the fogginess that's way too brightening. Gate holders colder than the model for Trident. Like, I just was imagining myself in the chaos, bro, and being the calamity for myself and the solace that I need for myself when no one else can. Like,
Yeah.
no one's gonna save me.
Yeah, and I feel like that could have been the outro. But you say, nah, here's Najadelic Part 2 to end y'all off. You get what I'm saying? Funky as hell.
Yeah.
Close out the Deluxe.
Yeah.
Why did you want to leave people on a lighter note with Manifesto?
So I think it would just be, that's what you would expect to end on Sand and Stone. And I'm one of them artists where, one, you can't really, I'm going to do what you least expect every time. And when you listen to it without your ego, you'll see how it makes sense that an artist like me would end off. If you think about, I'm ending off just as strong as if I were to end off
Sand and Stone.
Yeah, like, because
you're showing your versatility, you're showing your ability.
Exactly.
And you're showing that you're not scared.
Exactly. And I don't even give you the complete song of Najadelic Part 2, so you're just gonna, after what I have to say is said, I'm gonna leave you with a whole bunch of what ifs,
cliffhanger,
get you anxious for what's to come with the Purple Earth Theory Deluxe. And then once they get that, it's like, okay, we want more, where is this going? He can do this, he can do that, and then boom, they get hit with the reason for all of the light and the dark, all of my pathways leading up to them.
Gotcha. And I just think, like, that is bold, courageous, and much like the project itself, you know what I'm saying? And with Manifesto, like, for that to be your introduction so long ago, and for it to still fit now so perfectly into what you're doing, lets me know that you're destined. You feel me? There's something guiding your steps, and to keep going, and whatever's next is gonna be important. So this is just one of very many, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this project.
Thank you, bro.
And I'm excited for your debut album, The Reason It Gets Dark.
Thank you, man.
Coming Q1 2022.
Yes,
so, what else you got to say before we close out?
I just want to say to the people, whoever's watching, I love you. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. You are the governor of your life. And never be afraid.
Never.
That's what I gotta say.
And on that note, Manifesto Deluxe out. Blue Manifesto Deluxe out now by Najee motherfucking Janey.
Download that. Buy the merch.
www.najeejaney.co.
Hit me up on Instagram. Send me your emails to be involved and just be hit when I have to cover letters and just, newsletters and everything. If you want to be in the world, hit me up.
And that's all it is. We out.
Beep, beep, beep.